Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm May.
And I'm Laura, and we're doing it. We're talking about Mr. Sean P. Diddy and Company Combs. All of his many names.
Puff Daddy.
Puff, the Puffster, Puffy boy. We are talking about, this is going to be a two-parter, you guys, because I don't know if you've noticed, things are going down.
Yeah.
For Mr. I'll call him Sean. How about that?
Sean.
Or Diddy. So this episode is going to be focused on a little bit of the background around him. Believe it or not, the lawsuits that are coming around right now are not his first brush with the law. So we're going to go through what kind of brought him to fame, his various ventures in the business world, and all of his many name changes.
Yes, so many name changes.
And then what some of the initial lawsuits that maybe are starting to push into what might be taking him down in what people consider like an Epstein type scenario.
That's what I've heard.
How exciting.
It is exciting.
It's nice to have an Epstein's Island, but like for hot celebrities.
Yeah.
Because the Epstein was pretty lame. They all came out. The ones that all came out, I was like, they're not attractive, so I don't care.
Well, they were like businessmen.
I know, and that's boring.
True. Yeah, it
this
is
will
definitely...
be like Ashton Kutcher. We'll be like, whoa! I don't know. I'm just completely making that up. But
No.
how hot? That'd be so fun.
This will be crazy. I will say one thing that's sort of hilarious is like everyone's like, oh, these fucking people that think like pedophiles run Hollywood. And I'm like, well, uh-oh.
Also, have you seen TV? Yes, they do.
Yeah. Right.
What are we doing?
All right. Good times.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's risque business news.
Wow, this is a big one.
It is a big one.
This seemed to come. I mean, at least for me, because I just don't follow Sean P. Diddy Combs, but I was like, this came out of nowhere.
I agree. Minus, I remember in November, I think I texted you about this. Was like, we should talk about how the Cassie thing came out.
Yes, I remember this.
And
so yeah, his ex-girlfriend had a lot to say.
She had a lot to say. She came out and had this big, like, saying he raped her all the time. Like, that was just what he did.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And then a whole bunch of other people were like, oh yeah, he loves raping. And really tripled and quadrupled. And like, it's a lot of people now saying that they raided his home. We're going to talk about all of that in the next episode because honestly, it's happening like live.
Yeah.
Like that's literally, I went online and I looked it up and I was like, okay, 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago. I was like, okay, but this needs a second to cook. So I figured we could go back and give a little bit of background on him as a whole and explain maybe a little bit of the personality that might lead to one of the bigger stories we've seen in media in a while.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Do you know much about him?
I mean, I watched Making the Band. I've
Yeah.
seen, obviously, like I know his earlier records and stuff like that. I know that he dated. Did he date Kamala Harris, or am I lying about that?
I did not see. She probably had that wiped from the fucking internet.
Hold
she's
on
like,
a second.
It's an election year. I do not need a deal.
What rapper did I might be lying completely?
Rapper?
Kamala Harris date. Let's see.
Montel Williams.
Montel Williams. Okay, no.
Very different. Very different.
I feel like I would have heard that before, but anyway.
Yes, absolutely. I think also if that was, wow, they did it in 2019? Oh, no, addressed it. He addressed it in 2019.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. Anyway, so
okay, so yeah, no,
yeah,
it
so
was
I'm
not
not
Kamala
familiar-
Harris. He has dated a lot of celebrities, obviously, though, and has the long-standing relationship with Cassie. That was one of the
yes,
preeminent ones.
So did you watch Making the Band?
I did not.
Okay, so there was like one particular scene that he forced them as like part of like a hazing ritual or something like this. He forced them to walk from, I think it was like Upper Manhattan down to Junior's to get him cheesecake and then walk back. And I'm like, oh my God, it's right there. Junior's.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. So they had to
That's
walk over
also-
the bridge.
That's a far walk. That's
Yeah,
like
that's
an
like-
all-day walk.
Why couldn't they just take the subway? That's what I didn't understand when I was watching it at the time, and I still don't understand it.
Huh. What'd they take?
So-
Like the East Side Highway?
I don't know what they took.
They went
They walked
Brooklyn Bridge?
Brooklyn Bridge. Anyway, so yeah, that was a good show.
There you go. Well, I mean, he had a lot of stuff. He has been busy. So I'll give a little background. He was born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon, New York. He then went on to work as a talent director at Uptown Records before he eventually founded his own label, Bad Boy Records. And he has been credited, and he has discovered, allegedly at least, but has been involved in the discovery of a lot of very big talent, including Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just to name a few, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people. He was raised Roman Catholic and served as an altar boy. So, red flag.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Right.
He graduated from this Catholic school, this all-boys Catholic school in 1987, where he played football for the academy. And I love how they put in his Wikipedia, his team won a division title in 1986.
Great.
Make sure to get that all-boys Catholic school in Jersey's division title in Sean Combs's Wikipedia.
It's the most relevant fact
It's
about him.
extremely important, and we're very proud of the boys that year.
So proud.
Dump the Gatorade on him, go crazy. But apparently this is when he was given that nickname Puff. He was a kid, and he would always huff and puff when he was angry.
Okay, that's a really embarrassing nickname.
Yeah,
then.
I mean, you know that he did not like that.
Yeah, no way.
There's no shot. If someone called me Puff as a child, oof.
Because I would had a temper. That's
an easy way to make him angrier,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And here we are. He's an angry man now. He's a dead dad.
Oh,
Sorry, Sean John Combs.
when did his dad die? Do we know?
Sean John Combs was born in 1969. He had his mother, Janice Combs, who was a model and teacher's assistant, and his father was Melvin Earl Combs. He served in the U.S. Army and was an associate of convicted New York drug dealer Frank Lucas.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
at 33, he was shot dead, I'm assuming, on drug dealer Frank Lucas business.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm assuming he was involved somewhere.
In the Lucas.
Yes, involved in that. He was sitting in his car on Central Park West.
Oh wow.
Shot in the car, and Diddy, Puff, was 2 years old.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. So it's obviously like very sad. His mom, as a result, was like a single mother and had to work multiple jobs to support him and his sister growing up. So he grew up without a dad, and I'm sure, having your dad murdered in a drug related, and it's like, I always thought he was kind of soft. Did you get that impression?
I did. I thought he was like I've heard that Ja Rule is like kind of a poser in that
Yeah.
way. And I have put him and P. Diddy in the same
category,
but I guess not.
I mean, at 3, he was already dealing with stuff where I'm like, that's gonna, you are allowed to rap about that. That. You know what I mean? That is a legitimate background that you are coming from.
Damn, that sucks.
I know. So then he started in the business. He became an intern at New York's Uptown Records in 1990, and he was working under the talent that developed Jodeci. I don't know, but
Okay.
they've got a Wikipedia, so apparently someone out there probably knows. And Mary J. Blige, heard of her. And he had a reputation for throwing huge parties in association with his job. Like thousands of people would come out to them.
Damn.
So he's like, he knows how to
Promote.
work a crowd, like get things going. Usher used to live with him.
Really?
Yeah. He lived with him when he was 13 years old, which is crazy.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Usher, who lived with Combs for a year in New York City when he was 13 years old. That's...
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So he told Howard Stern in 2016 that Combs' lifestyle was pretty wild during that time, which is unfortunate if you're 13 to be involved in that. Literally, one of the incidents, one of the parties was a like the AIDS version of Astro World.
Wait, what?
So he had a AIDS fundraiser that he did with Heavy D. I don't know who that is. And it was held at the City College of New York at their gymnasium after like some charity basketball game for AIDS, fundraising. The event was oversold to the point where there was a stampede in the gymnasium and 9 people died.
Oh, I did not expect it to go where you took it. Wow.
Yeah, no. Like Astro World.
Damn.
Isn't that wild?
That's so sad.
And that was in 1991, I guess, while Usher lived with him.
So weird.
So he was already 1991. He's already responsible for 9 people dying, which is
9 more people that you want to be under your conscious, I would say.
yes, absolutely. In 1993, he started Bad Boy Entertainment. He got fired from Uptown Records. So I think they were probably like, hey, 9 people died and other things. So you're on PIP.
You're on PIP for the deaths, for the 9 deaths.
9 people kicking the bucket. I think that's too many for us at Uptown Records.
It's a lot. Has there been any, by the way, has there been any legal updates from Astroworld?
I have not seen any,
Me neither.
which is honestly suspicious in its own right.
And it's also kind of interesting also that, what's her face? Kylie Jenner split from him
Yeah, that makes sense.
and is now with Timothy Chalamet,
Oof.
my favorite couple.
Oof. Are you really?
I love them
Why?
because I think it's just a fucking hilarious pairing.
Oh,
And
as a bit.
yeah, I love it. And Timothy Chalamet one time wore a t-shirt that said, "I'm not the stepfather, I'm the father that steps up," I think also as a bit, and that is so fucking funny to me. I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
Wait, so what does that have to do with Kylie?
because Kylie has kids, so he's the stepfather to her kids.
Oh, that is fun.
But it's so funny that he wore this like corny like Life is Good style t-shirt out just like in LA. It was like, "I'm the father that stepped up." He wore it. How fucking funny is that?
Also, isn't he like 19? How old is Timothy
no,
Chalamet?
he's 30.
There's no.
Yes,
I'm sure he is, but no, he's not.
Okay, well, let me look up how
He
old
probably is, but also at the same time, simultaneously, he is not, sir. I gotta say, Dune 2, another opportunity for me to press that.
He's 28.
28, and
And
he's
Kylie's
a stepfather.
I mean, not officially. They're not married, but I guess.
But he's stepping up into the role.
He's stepping up. I was like, that is the funniest bit I've ever fucking seen. I'm assuming it's a bit. I mean, that's funny.
I mean, it's great.
Anyway, good for them. I hope they stay together.
I hope they have more additional babies.
Same.
Those babies would rule in Hollywood. Let me tell you that.
They would be pretty.
I know people talk a
they'd be
lot
so
of
pretty.
shit about nepotism, and it's obviously has downside is bad, right? But there is the element where I'm like, they are prepared from birth for this role.
That's true. That's true.
You're trying to tell me, like, Chase DeRusso's calling me. Love you, friend of the pod, but not the time.
What does he want?
What does he want? Does he
Hi,
have
Chase.
thoughts about Timothy Chalamet?
Probably. Everybody does.
But you know what I mean? Where I'm like, of course, Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet's hypothetical child would be an amazing actor. Or
Of
like
course
would
it
be
would.
like not an amazing actor, but like a big personality in media.
And it would understand the game a little bit. It would understand,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to like invest just financially in someone that or like a random person who like had some good acting chops but nothing else, I'd be like probably Timothy Chalamet's kid.
Definitely Timothy Chalamet's kid.
gonna
Looks
get
like
the
that
returns.
jawline alone.
It is a nice jawline.
Okay.
I don't like the rest of his face though. But anyway, okay, so he was fired. He started his own deal. He started Bad Boy Records, which was a joint venture with another company, Arista Records. And that is when they signed Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G.
Oh.
They brought him over from Uptown. So
Whatever happened? I'm just joking. Whatever happened to that guy?
what happened to that guy? What if he's still making music? Aw.
Did I tell you I'm reading this book? I think I've said this on air, but I'm reading this book where the guy dies in the end, and he's authoring the book, and I love his style of writing, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, I love this author. I wonder if he's written. Oh. I'm like,
Was it released like posthumously?
no, it was released. He was
so
dying.
proud of myself for that word.
Yeah, right. He was dying as he was writing it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, there is no other books in the series.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's dead.
I mean, really, that's really dark.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
I don't want to read that, but I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would bum me out. Goddamn. Okay, back to Puff Daddy, person who's not going to bum me out.
Not
kidding.
at all. He didn't
will.
do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. In 1997, he produced his album that included "I'll Be Missing You," which was a
Oh.
tribute to Notorious B.I.G. Oh, and it was the first rap song to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It remained at the top of that chart for 11 consecutive weeks, so it was like a smash hit.
Yeah.
Kind of cheating a little bit.
Why?
Because it was a tribute song to.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
I mean, it was a great song, but
But
like,
he did have to write the raps and stuff, or his right. Somebody.
I
Had to
think
write
he
the
had a bunch of like people on it, so it was one of those ones where,
Oh.
right?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
featuring a bunch of people. I don't know. I don't fully respect him as like an artist. I'll say it.
Me neither.
Or a
and
person.
I don't. Yeah, definitely not person anymore. But I don't know why. I never have.
No, I mean he's definitely he's clearly got an eye for talent, so that's one thing you
He's like
can't.
a really good talent manager.
Yeah. Well, sort of. Unless you're the talent. And you're like, I'm a little too managed right now. Stop
Yeah.
managing my vagina.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to think. Okay, continue.
Okay, so that album earned him 5 nominations at the 40th Grammy Awards and would go on to win Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. So he's a Grammy winner. He has definitely got some like official accolades under his belt. This was kind of a little funny story. Well, funny in a way. In April 1999, Combs was charged with assaulting Steve Stout of Interscope Records. Stout was the manager for Nas, with whom he had done a video earlier that year for a song called Hate Me Now. And Diddy was upset when he found out in the video there was a shot of him and Nas and Diddy being crucified. And he wanted them to take that out. He said it was blasphemous to put that image into the video. And asked for the scenes of the cross to be pulled.
Because of his religious.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he was religious, which hilarious in retrospect that this man is religious.
Well, is it really that unusual?
I know, for real. But anyway, he asked for his scenes on the cross to be pulled from the video, but it was actually aired unedited on MTV on April 15th. So
Of
he
what
was
year?
of 1999.
Okay.
So like in MTV's, like we were doing it.
Oh, we were
MTV
doing it.
was where you went.
We were sitting cross-legged on the floor watching MTV.
We were drinking ungodly amounts of soda.
Oh, yeah. Doritos, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
It was great.
Ranch.
It was great.
Okay.
And probably watched this video and was probably like, why is Diddy on the cross?
Well, I was so fucking dumb. I was 9. I'd never been to church. I'd be like, what is that fucking stick figure? What?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay.
So anyway, he was really upset about this, so much so that he went to Stout's office, like the manager guy, and he assaulted him. Like beat the shit out of him.
Wow.
Right? So he's like got a violent undertone
Yeah.
tendency to the man.
I mean, religion makes people do crazy shit. Like, I'm actually kind of not that surprised by this one. It's like,
Yeah.
in his mind, he like, I don't know. He should.
Yeah,
he
he
should
did
have
not-
never filmed those scenes to
However,
begin with.
they also talk exactly. Don't film the
Yeah.
scenes to begin with, and then second of all, like the religion's also against violence.
Right. But none of that ever matters with religion. Like, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
You'd think it might,
You'd think it might.
but it does matter in the court of the law. So
Yeah.
Stout sued Combs and was like, "You beat the shit out of me. Don't do that."
I don't like that.
Boo. And they've settled out of court for a settlement of $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. And he pled guilty to a charge of harassment and was sentenced to spend 1 day in an anger management class.
Just one?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I guess the judge was probably like, pray,
yeah.
just in case God's angry about this one, 1 day in anger management. Other than
Yeah,
that, you're
yeah.
good to go. But needless to say, he does have like anger management issues, which will come up.
Yeah.
2001, first name change happens. Changed his name again to, or second one, changed his name again to P. Diddy. He changed his stage name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy. And that's going to be one of many different things. So he continues to do this throughout. That's why no one knows what the fuck to call the man.
Yeah.
2002, Making the Band.
Making the Band.
He hits his Making the Band
Great
era.
show. I'd like to rewatch that show. I bet we can find old episodes.
Yeah, probably. And it'd be interesting considering.
Probably.
I'll also say Making the Band didn't really make many bands.
No. Well, it made what's it called?
Danity Kane.
Danity Kane.
Danity Kane.
Yes.
Those
we
ladies.
in the car. We drive slow. We're doing things that the girls don't do. We drive fast. Da-da-da. In the back of a Cadillac. Yeah. What a bad song. It's the
However,
worst fucking
we know it because you had to. It was on Making the Band. Of course you're gonna know Danity Kane.
By the way, did you know that Audrey O'Day has a baby with Pauly Shore?
No,
I
I
might
don't.
be making things up all
What do
over
you?
town.
Also, Kamala Harris was their aunt. Fucking making things up.
Hold on.
All right, let's find out. Audrey?
No, not Pauly Shore. Pauly D.
Like the
Pauly D. Audrey O'Day. They definitely dated.
Audrey O'Day looks like alternate reality Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, totally.
Damn. That kind of makes sense, though. That makes a lot of sense for me. Audrey O'Day.
I guess. They definitely had a baby. Let's see.
Pauly. Whoops. Pauly D. Oh.
Baby.
How do you spell Pauly D?
Pauly D.
Like P-A-U-L-Y?
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul. Nope. It's not showing up on our Wikipedia, so I think you're full of shit, dude.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. Baby? Yeah, I don't think they have a baby.
All right. Well, that's
She had a miscarriage.
Well, that's sad. Thank God we covered that.
I knew. Okay,
I'm not laughing that she had a miscarriage. I'm laughing that May brought it up.
Okay, here's what. I didn't completely make that up in a fever dream.
Okay, what's the background?
They were dating. She had a miscarriage.
Oh,
That's it.
with Pauly D.
With Pauly D.
Oh, fuck, that is sad. Why is that not in her Wikipedia? That feels
Yeah,
I feel like I
right?
need to know. I'm going to edit it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and edit her Wikipedia tonight to include that fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Other bands that were made by the band. Da Band was the name of one of them. I've never heard of that.
No.
Day 26, never heard. And Donnie Klang.
I don't know. Any
I don't know these people. But anyway, it was a popular program. He was part of his being on TV era, which he did a lot. He's been in a lot of movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In 2003, he ran the New York City Marathon and raised
That's random.
$2 million.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
Like big boy money.
When the hell does he have time to train for the New York City Marathon? That's my biggest question. I'm always like so shocked by people's time.
Time management skills.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's an angry guy. Maybe he's just runs some steam off all the time. And he's like, I might as well enter the marathon and raise $2 million for the educational system of the city of New York.
All right.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah.
That's a good thing to do.
Good for him. And he did nothing else.
He finished it in 4 hours and 18 minutes. Is that a good time? I think it
I
is.
have no clue.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good. He discussed it on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Cool.
Nice. Would you ever run one of those?
The marathon?
Yeah.
You know what? I ran a half marathon and my big toenail fell off.
Okay.
And I said, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Would you?
No.
You got the boobs.
I got the I just can't run. If it was something else, maybe like I don't know, biking or something, I could maybe do something like that. But like I like having like a goal to go towards.
I agree.
You know, I sort of like that, and physically challenging yourself feels good. But
I think I'd be more
marathons don't
likely
speak to me.
to do like a triathlon or something like that.
Totally. Yeah.
If I did a marathon, it would probably be like I took a break or quit comedy or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you could genuinely do. You could do both. There's plenty of comedians that do it, but like also that and then working a day job and doing the podcast. Or
That's too much.
Yeah, no, and having a little treat, having a little glass of wine.
No way. No. Can't do it. Okay.
Okay, back to Puffy Boy. He was on the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay.
One of the years. So that's kind of cool. 2005, he changed his name again to Diddy this time. He said people were getting confused, so he's going to go by Diddy now. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
He continues from 2005. He has a lot of additional advancements. I didn't go through all of them, but like, he had Ciroc. He has a bunch of clothing lines. He had other alcohol. He had just, a lot of media deals. He was in a lot of movies and like did like TV appearances. Remember when he was in Get Him to the Greek?
No.
I like that movie.
I don't think I saw it.
I enjoyed that one.
You know what's really funny is that a few years ago I was looking for a job and I was sort of interested in alcohol and spirits and doing like events for them or something like that. And my friend was like, I have this one brand. It's like a really good fit for you. You're like totally their demographic. It's Ciroc. I was like, I don't think they'd hire me. I'm just gonna go out and say that. I did apply though, and they did not hire me. That also reminds me of when I applied to Grindr. Also not familiar with their
You know
products
for
enough.
sure they pulled that shit up in the office and we're like, look at this bitch.
Look
Find
at
a
this
grinder.
dumbass white girl
Why
trying
would-
to go on Grinder.
We're not interested, sweetheart.
You don't know our product, obviously.
No. Yeah. What are you possibly going to comment on?
I got it. Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, he was listed as one of the top 40 entrepreneurs under 40 in Forbes. And he apparently earned
40 under 40, another one to add to the list.
40 under 40. See? And they're criminals. They're all criminals.
They're all criminals.
Every single one of them. 2017, he estimated to earn $130 million, ranking him number one in earners for entertainers, which is a big deal, like a really big deal.
Yeah.
And by 2022, his estimated total net worth was $1 billion. So he's like a billionaire. Like, this guy is not fucking around. He is clearly a genius businessman. I will give him that. He is also a bad person, but
Yeah.
he does know how to create dollar bills out of entertainment.
Yeah.
So let's go into some of his legal issues. That's just kind of like the core of what he's been up to. He's got a lot of other stuff going on. Most importantly, he dated Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my God. Yes.
I have really been enjoying the entire JLo arc that everybody's going through
Same.
on social media. If you're not familiar,
Get familiar.
Get
it's
familiar.
so funny.
did it come out yet? Or that documentary?
Oh, it's out. I mean, I haven't watched it.
I
I've watched
cannot.
enough of it on TikTok, but oh my gosh, that is so.
So I love JLo as like in like a camp way. where
Yeah,
I'm, like,
totally.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
She's so fucking funny. The
Yeah.
worst. She's so bad at acting, but
Oh my
everything she
God.
does, I have to see it. So I can't wait to see this documentary.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. So my go-to move is to put her movie on a Delta flight, preferably, and then have 2 glasses of red wine at altitude
Yeah.
and cry.
Perfect.
Perfect.
To Geely?
To yes.
Jiggly?
Or like, here's the thing. She's pumping out these movies.
Really?
They're coming out regularly,
Oh my God.
and they're great.
Did you see that round table? She's sitting there with like Scarlett Johansson. I'm blacking out who else was there, but like
Like
Big-
A-list.
A-list, like
Respected.
talented artists. And she was sitting there like mansplaining. Fucking.
She was just
acting
being
to
like,
them.
this is my process, like all this stuff, and there was like,
And
was it
Scarlett
like
Johansson
Renee
is like-
Zellweger was?
Yeah, like literally the way that Scarlett's looking at her, she's like, just like turned and it's so funny.
It's really great. So anyway, the whole internet has been making fun of JLo for the last like couple of weeks now. It's been a delight, and
Yeah.
I hope she continues to use this to produce more films for me.
Hopefully.
And also my favorite is also people they go to like where she grew up, and like
Yeah.
ask the people about her influence on the community, and they're like, who?
Yeah, I know.
Who are you talking about? Jennifer who?
And then she said that when she went to the bodega, she said bodega. But anyway, in the bodega, she was like, I get ham and cheese on a roll, a small bag of chips. You're like, which kind? And then she said, orange drink. If you know, you know. And I was like, I have no idea what an orange drink is.
No, we do not. I guess if you know, you know, and it's one guy. If you know,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
it's literally
It's her
It's
cousin.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. You have to apply it to a larger group of people for that saying to make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Ham and cheese on a roll. Sometimes you got to get something plain. That sounds nice. I'm starving.
I am
right
also
now.
starving.
Yeah. Put some mayo on there, some mustard. Hell yeah.
It
dude.
actually doesn't sound very good to me, but
Oh, really?
go off.
Okay.
But I'm going
fuck
to support
yeah.
you nonetheless.
I'm gonna eat a goddamn ham sandwich for dinner. Don't even try me.
No one's
dude.
going to stop you.
Okay.
Not if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Ham sandwich for dinner. Okay. So he dated J-Lo and his protege rapper. Oh, okay. So this was one of the incidents that happened on December 27th, 1999. He was out at the club with J-Lo
Club.
and another rapper, Shine. They were at Club New York in Times Square in Manhattan. Heard of it? And gunfire broke out.
Oh shit.
I know. And apparently this was an incident that was sparked by an argument at the club between him and another person. Like another person was just at the club. He was arrested for weapons violations and probably firing guns
Yeah, probably fry.
in
Yeah.
a club.
I think I remember that as a child hearing about this. Or I
Yeah.
probably wasn't a child at that. I was probably like,
I could see that.
yeah. But
Also,
I
that
remember
was right before Y2K.
Yeah, I
That
like.
was 3 days before, 4 days
That
before.
is insane.
Mm-hmm. So
You can't shoot guns. in public.
in a like
Or like really anywhere outside of a
go to
shooting
like a
range.
designated shooting location, and that is it. He was charged with 4 weapons related charges and also with bribing his driver Wardell Fenderson to claim ownership of his gun. He pleaded not guilty, and he was found not guilty on all charges, but Shine, this other guy, was convicted on 5 of the 8 charges.
Okay.
Sure. And he ended up having to go to prison for 10 years, the other guy. It's kind of crazy, right?
That what 10 years?
So, and like, here's what.
Sorry, they like just registered.
Yeah,
me.
so but it's serious. I mean, that's a very serious crime.
Yeah.
Very serious.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that Sean didn't get charged with anything.
That is.
I'm not going to say the criminal justice system is rigged in this country. He might have been fine. Who knows? But like crazy.
It is rigged though.
Needless to say, he was involved in at the minimum, bad incident.
Mm-hmm.
J-Lo broke up with him after. Like, it was bad.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Okay, a bunch of other lawsuits, but nothing like as egregious as that one.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested for driving with a suspended license in 2001. Why are you driving yourself, man? Get a driver. 2003, Kirk Burroughs sued him, claiming that he had been forced to give up his shares in Bad Boy Records through threats of violence. So he was like, if you don't give up that's a way. That's a different version of Succession right there.
Sure.
Like, hey, if you don't, I'll beat the shit out of you. And you're like, oh.
I guess so.
Also, he apparently, thought he was serious. So I guess he did just have a gun in the club. So they were like, oh, well, yeah, maybe listen.
Yeah.
In 2006, the case was dismissed because the statute of limitations had expired.
Okay.
So, which is such a lame reason for a case to be dismissed, but fair enough.
You know what I'm thinking about right now is that I'm thinking of Diddy's face, and I'm like, I'd never see him smiling.
No, he's always like,
He's so fucking serious. He's like, we're making the stupidest faces right now. But that's
it looks
what,
just like Diddy.
that's what he looks like. He's so mad all the time.
He's a frowny man.
Yeah.
And you'd think you got $1 billion. Like, I don't know, smile.
Enjoy it.
Let's see a little teeth. Let's grin.
Let's grin.
Maybe the endorphins will make you stop raping people.
I would not want him at my comedy show. Just
Oh my
mad,
God.
Front row.
Front row, just not laughing.
Frowning.
Or if it'd be worse if he did laugh. Just from the frown, just like, ha ha ha. That's really jarring. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2005, a TV show host in Michigan said he was assaulted by Diddy. A lot of assaults. 2007, he settled a lawsuit that said he punched a guy outside a nightclub.
Okay. Wow.
So another assault. I like how these are all like the not egregious stuff too. I was just like, he punched a lot.
Right.
He kept fighting.
Okay, everyone makes mistakes, but to make the same mistake so many times is
Right.
crazy to me. Like you already fucking shot somebody or tried to shoot whatever the hell happened. You fired a fucking a gun in a nightclub, then you punched somebody.
Also,
what is going on here?
Do you not feel bad?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Also recall, like, out the gate, 9 people died because of this event he put together. Like, if that happened to me, that would change my life. I would feel unbelievable.
I would be forever changed.
Right?
And I would be like
I would go be a monk or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nuts.
Obviously, you fucking killed 9 people or were like partially. That's insane.
Crazy. So anyway, he carries on. In June 2015, he was arrested for aggravated assault after an altercation with his son's football coach at UCLA.
Oh,
universities, not like his kids. The fucking football coach at UCLA, a Division I NCAA program.
That is insane.
So what happened was there was like TMZ reporting on this. Apparently the coach named Alasi was chewing out Justin Combs, who was one of the defensive backs and is obviously P. Diddy's son. He was doing like strength and conditioning drills. Diddy was there, I guess it was a parents' day or some shit, and he was getting yelled at. And yes, as we kind of talked, was it on this episode? It wasn't. But on our last episode, we were talking about like in sports, sometimes you be getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Especially in football. It's kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Right?
That's kind of like the whole thing in football.
It's kind of the thing. apparently the coach was riding Combs hard, screaming, "I don't care if your dad's here. This is UCLA. I'm going to treat you just like I treat everyone else."
Good.
Fair.
Yeah.
Really fair.
Yeah.
After the practice session ended, Diddy allegedly went to the coach's office in the athletic facility and grabbed him. And he eventually got like removed from the office, was like in the weight training room, grabbed a kettlebell, and was like trying to assault people, like the different staff members.
God. Holy shit.
Swinging a kettlebell at the intern. If you don't know what a kettlebell is, it's if you got hit with it, it could fucking kill you.
Literally, it could kill. It's like assault with a deadly weapon, in
Literally.
my opinion.
I agree. I definitely agree. They ended up dropping the charges on this. I'm sure there were a lot of discussions with cool-headed lawyers and the University of California, Los Angeles department.
Jesus.
It would be very tough for them to have a lawsuit against Diddy, because imagine like most of what UCLA does is like put people into media business positions, and if he runs one of the biggest record labels,
Oh.
it's
Interesting.
you don't want to like let it go.
Yeah.
So there was not sufficient evidence, even though there's videos.
Oh my! Are the videos made public?
I couldn't find them, but I
Okay.
also didn't search like
That
extensively.
would be crazy.
Not wild though.
Yes.
Like I'm reading between the lines. I'm like, the athletic director had to like step in and be like, "Hey, I know he assaulted you with a kettlebell, but we're gonna let this one go." Anyway, I wonder how that kid played. Probably not very well because he didn't get the fucking training.
Jesus.
In June 2023, Combs filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against Diageo, which was the spirits company responsible for Ciroc. And
Diageo.
Diageo. There you go. This girl, she tried
I
to
did
get
my homework.
This
and
girl
they did not give me an interview. So
hire her. If you are Diageo listening to this podcast,
good.
Do we have an employee for you? Okay, so he sued them, saying that they had kneecapped the marketing and sales of his vodka and tequila de Leon labels.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, in January 2024, so just a couple months ago, he voluntarily withdrew the lawsuit and severed the business relationship.
Okay.
I don't know. Sounds like he was just...
Imagine if I worked for P. Diddy's company.
That would be wild.
That really would be.
Really would be. He was sued for covering up a shooting of a 30-year-old man at a writer and producers camp in LA in 2024. That's just how is that just like a side story? I'm like,
Yeah.
Nothing else to say there. That sounds crazy, but that's one of many, many things that this man has done. He in 2017, Cindy Ruella, who was his personal chef, filed a lawsuit against him in LA, saying that he had sexually harassed her and done a bunch of retaliation stuff towards her. And this lawsuit was settled in February 2019. So that's a synopsis. I bet there's other stuff, but that's like the high level synopsis of old lawsuits, old crimes, things like that have gone on in Mr. Diddy's life. What is going on now? I will give you just the very high level of why a lot of this stuff is coming out, and then we'll pick up the rest of it on the actual current lawsuits in the next episode. But kind of some of the important background is there was a bill passed for the New York Survivors Act, which created a 1-year window for adult victims in New York to file a lawsuit against alleged abusers and the institutions that enabled them. So regardless of statute of limitations. So basically what that means is that people who had been like sexually assaulted or something like that 30 years ago had a period of time in which they could come forward and say, this happened to me. I'd like to press charges. Then after that window expires, like the end, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess it was kind of like this, like, get it all out there, you know? More than 3,000 lawsuits were filed. Have been filed. Actually, I don't remember when this was pulled, but point being, it was utilized a good bit. It started November 2022, and then ended November 24th, 2023. The most famous one of these New York Survivor Acts that came forward was E. Jean Carroll.
Oh yeah. So she was accusing Trump of rape.
She sued Donald Trump in New York for raping her in the 1990s. She was one of the first people to sue under the Adult Survivors Act. Not to be a conspiracy theory, but do you think they partially brought this around so that she could go after Trump?
Interesting. Yeah.
There's a
maybe.
lot of, I mean,
Yeah.
politics is like, they're playing chess. We are playing
Oh, yeah.
checkers. They are playing chess on a lot of
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely, it's a theory.
It's a theory. I mean, either way, like she had the opportunity to sue for an attack that she said took place in 27 years ago in a New York luxury department store dressing room. And I think she ended up being successful, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so she won this. So, like,
Yeah.
crazy.
It also kind of ties into like now he doesn't have as much money for the campaign. Like he's got, doesn't
Right,
have as
absolutely.
Much,
Yeah, and he's
so.
selling like Bibles and stuff. Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh my God. For Easter, he was selling $60 Bibles on Truth Social. Also,
$60?
$60, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's a big book. It's a lot of pages. It is a lot, but books should be expensive. He was obviously.
I've never read the Bible.
You should.
Maybe I should. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Didn't you go to private school?
Yeah, but I didn't go to Catholic school. I just went to a private
Oh.
school. So I mean, I would like to just for like educational purposes.
Yeah,
And it's probably got some nice stuff in it too.
it does have a lot of nights. The Old
Yeah.
Testament, pretty dark. New
Yeah.
Testament's a lot of like feel good bullshit.
Oh, I love feel good
It's
bullshit.
great.
I've been fucking reading
You
self help this whole time.
Yeah.
I should be reading the Bible.
You should pop up Mark. You can read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Wow. Look at that.
That'd be great. Okay. Anyway, back to the New York Survivors Act. There were other complaints that came from this. That's part of the reason this stuff like with Cassie came out in November. There were complaints against Sean Diddy Combs and the Bad Boy president Harvey Pierre, Jamie Foxx, Axl Rose, Russell Brand,
Ooh.
Interscope Records co-founder Jimmy Iovine, music executive L.A. Reid, Cuba Gooding Jr.,
Whoa.
who I've met before, and a lot of other people as well. A lot of guys getting hit with this thing, not a lot of ladies. Also, this made me kind of giggle. Do you know those ads they have in the subway for that Columbia gynecologist where they're like, do you want to join the class action lawsuit against Robert Haddon,
No, I haven't
affiliated
seen
with
it.
New York Presbyterian and Columbia University? Yes. Now that I've said it,
Okay.
you're gonna see it. It's
Whoa.
like in a lot of subways they have an ad which is trying to get people in the city of New York to participate in this class action lawsuit against this former gynecologist who was abusing a lot of patients.
Oy, marón.
I know.
Yeah.
So this class action lawsuit is part of the New York Survivors Act, and they were
Okay.
able to utilize that to go against him and the universities and the hospital system.
Wow, that's crazy.
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is the New York Survivors Act. I think this is probably the best part to let this go for the next episode because we're already a good bit in. Yeah. So I think what we'll do next week is pick up where I left off in terms of talking about like the latest and greatest and some of the more outlandish theories about what's going on.
Okay.
Because shit's escalated. They like raided his home.
Oh, multiple
he
homes.
might be Epstein
I think he is.
Jr.
I mean, here's the truth is that they do not raid homes like that unless they have substantial evidence.
Correct.
So it'll be interesting to see.
P did it.
P did it.
P did it.
That's cute.
Yes.
Great.
Great.
Okay, well, we'll see you back here for part 2. I'm not happy that he did all these things, but I am thrilled recovering this because it is fascinating and it's gonna be
How crazy.
wild.
That was why when I was researching it, I was like, he's done a lot of shit prior to all this also.
Yeah,
The man's kind
yeah.
of a loose cannon.
Oh, he's a nutcase.
Yeah. But he's made a lot of money. So
So much money.
business.
Business, yeah. Okay, so please like and subscribe to the podcast. Please follow us on Instagram at Risque Business News. If you're not watching on YouTube, we have video alongside it. And
do.
yeah, please go ahead and subscribe there as well. Tell your friends about this podcast. That really helps us out quite a bit. Anything at all to spread the word is helpful. Also, if you want to support us, I am May_Planert on all platforms. I'm really on Instagram, to be honest. And if you want to support me further, I actually have a special taping April 17th at Grove 34 in Astoria, Queens. And we have a 7 p.m. and a 9 p.m. available. Tickets are in the link in my bio. So please do that. If you don't live in New York, please tell your friends about the show. Thanks.
Make a friend in New York. Tell them about the show. You can find me at Laura Sogar. I perform all over the country. And I'd love to see you out at one of the shows. All right. Bye.
Goodbye.